On June 22, 2026, 6 days before his 39th birthday, Lionel Messi became the greatest World Cup goal scorer in history. Not the greatest men's World Cup goal scorer, the greatest of all time. Men and women combined, 18 goals. No one in the history of this competition has ever scored more. This is how it happened, and this is why it means everything. Two records stood in Messi's way. The first belonged to Miroslav Klose. Klose, the German striker, scored 16 World Cup goals across 4 tournaments. 5 in Japan and South Korea in 2002, 5 in Germany in 2006, 4 in South Africa in 2010, 2 in Brazil in 2014, including the record-breaking 16th goal in the semi-final against Brazil in the Maracana. Germany won that game 7-1, and Klose stood alone at the top of the men's all-time list for 12 years. The second record belonged to Marta. The Brazilian legend, widely regarded as the greatest female player in the history of football, scored 17 goals across 5 Women's World Cups. That 17 made her the outright all-time record holder across both the men's and women's tournaments combined. Nobody in the history of World Cup football, male or female, had ever scored more. Until today. It started 6 days ago, June 16th. Geha Field at Arrowhead Stadium, Kansas City, Missouri. Argentina versus Algeria. And it started with tears. Messi scored the opening goal of the match in the 18th minute, a left-footed strike from just outside the area, and immediately turned away from his celebrating teammates and wiped his eyes with the front of his jersey. He later explained why. He said, and these were his exact words, "I went through some difficult days. It wasn't related to football." Then he scored again. And again, a hat trick, his first ever at a World Cup, the 11th of his international career, in his 200th appearance for Argentina. On the exact 20th anniversary of his World Cup debut, June 16, 2006 against Serbia and Montenegro, in which he also scored 3 goals, 16 in total at World Cups, level with Miroslav Klose. He was 38 years and 357 days old, the oldest player in World Cup history to score 3 goals in a single match. But he was not finished. June 22nd, AT&T Stadium, Arlington, Texas, Argentina versus Austria. He scored. Goal number 17. Miroslav Klose's 12-year record broken. The most goals ever scored by a man at a World Cup. Broken. Then he scored again. Goal number 18. Marta's all-time record of 17 surpassed. The most goals ever scored by any player, male or female, in the history of the FIFA World Cup, broken. He also missed a penalty in the same match, the first time in his career he has scored in a competitive game for Argentina, and failed to convert a spot kick. It did not matter. 18 World Cup goals. A brace in a single match at 38 years and 364 days old, 6 days before his 39th birthday. The third oldest man to score at a World Cup in history, after Cameroon's Roger Milla and Portugal's Pepe. The second man after Klose to score 4 or more goals in 3 different World Cup editions. The only man alongside Roger Milla to score 4 or more goals in a single World Cup aged 38 or older. Argentina defeated Austria, and Messi became the greatest World Cup goal scorer the sport has ever seen. Let us put 18 goals in context. Messi's first World Cup goal came in 2006. He was 18 years old. He scored 1 goal at that tournament. He scored 0 in 2010. He scored 4 in 2014 and won the Golden Ball. He scored 1 in 2018. He scored 7 in 2022 and lifted the trophy that had eluded him for his entire career. And now, at what may be his final tournament, he already has 5 goals in 2 games. Kylian Mbappé also scored twice on June 22nd, against Iraq for France. He now has 16 career World Cup goals, tying Klose in second place. He is 27 years old. He will almost certainly challenge Messi's record in the years ahead. But right now, on June 22nd, 2026, the record belongs to one man. and it belongs to him by 2. When Argentina reporters asked Algeria's coach, Vladimir Petkovic, about Messi after the hat-trick game, he said something that landed perfectly. He said, "Class is permanent." 16 years, 6 World Cups, 18 goals. A record that was supposed to be unbreakable, broken by a 38-year-old man in his 6th and final World Cup, 6 days before his 39th birthday. He cried after the first goal against Algeria. He said it was nothing to do with football. But we know what it was. It was 20 years of carrying this. 20 years of watching other players win trophies while the world questioned whether he was good enough. 20 years of being told that without the World Cup, the argument could never be settled. He settled it in Qatar. And now, in North America, at 38, he has done something nobody in the history of this competition had ever done before. 18 goals. Class, as the Algeria coach said, is permanent.